Hello everybody, I am Keaton and this is Kid Catholic, Season 11, Episode 22. And guys, this is the first video in the new year. We are in 2022. It kind of seems crazy, like it seems like 2019 was just last week. But here we are, 2022. I hope that you guys are having a really good start to your new year. I know that I am. Before we get into it, please click the red subscribe button down below. It really does help this ministry grow. It may not seem like it, but it's easy, it's free. You don't get your phone blown up. It really does help this ministry to grow. Now, if you are already subscribed, if you want to share this channel and video with your friends and family, click the share button, text it to someone. That would be greatly appreciated. That would really help this ministry to grow, get them to subscribe. That would be great as well. So guys, something that I wanted to talk about in this video is something that I feel needs to be addressed, is sort of a big topic around New Year's, and that is this idea of New Year, New Me, right? I've seen that everywhere. And of course, we normally always do every time it's a new year. And I think on the surface, okay, like if you want to make changes, you want to make improvements, I think that on the surface, sometimes saying that people have good intentions. However, I think that looking into that statement and going by that statement too deep and too hard, it can be a very negative thing. And I sort of wanted to address that. Because ultimately, the phrase New Year, New Me implies that with a change of just a couple actions, we can entirely change who we are as a human being. Here's the reality. Wanting to make self-improvements is a great thing. It really is. Whether it's working out, whether it's eating better, or most importantly, building a relationship with God, right? Because I think any New Year's resolution should involve that, should involve God, should involve growing closer to Him, right? Making self-improvements are a good thing. That's good. And it's good to, hey, maybe we're acting different this year. Maybe our actions are different this year than they were last year. Maybe we're praying more. Maybe we feel deeper connected with God. But that doesn't make us a new person. Because at the end of the day, we were made in the image and likeness of God. It sounds pretty anti-motivational and pretty negative to say, yeah, you can't change who you are. And of course, that's not how I'm trying to sound. Because at the end of the day, we can change a lot about us. We can change our actions. We can make so many self-improvements. But technically, who we are, a child of God, made in the image and likeness of God, is not one that can change. And that's something that people have gotten in their heads and they've ran with it, right? That somehow you can entirely change who you are with the snap of a fingers, and it doesn't work like that. Changing our actions should be our priority in the same way as, think about it, like I've mentioned judgment on the channel before, right? We are not allowed to judge other people. We can only judge their actions. For example, we can say something that person did was bad, that was a bad sin that person did, but we cannot say that person is a bad person for committing that sin, and there is a big difference. In the same way, we should be striving to change our actions in this new year, not just, oh, new year, new me, I'm going to completely change who I am, because at the end of the day, making ourselves better is what it's about. Improving ourselves with the help of God is what it's about. It is not about changing who we are as a human being. And that is something that I feel like needs to be brought up a lot more. Additionally, I feel like oftentimes we have a tendency to not do well with these self-improvements, or at least I know I do, going into the new year. The reality is it shouldn't just be New Year's where we try to grow closer to God. And then we try for a little bit, and then the rest of the year, it doesn't work out. Because oftentimes, unfortunately, that is what happens. Sure, New Year is a great motivator for it. Do not get me wrong. New Year, just along with Advent, right? I talked about Advent a couple videos ago. These things are great motivators to make self-improvements. But if we are not going to put in the work to continue it, right? Then what's really the point? Then what are we doing other than just coming up with a New Year's resolution because everybody else is? The reality is, yeah, our physical health, working out, eating healthier, that is all very important. Do not get me wrong. but our spiritual health is the most important. And so, yeah, let's have some physical resolutions. Okay, I want to work out more, cool. But let's involve God in it some. And let's not just stop at New Year's. Let's not just try to build a relationship with God because, oh, quote, new year, new me, right? And let's avoid that phrase. And then just, oh, it doesn't work out. And then I guess we can't build a relationship with God. No, let's continue it. Let's keep pushing so that throughout the rest of the year, we act as if it's January 1st, where we're trying to keep up this resolution, right? Of worshiping God, of getting closer to God, of building a relationship with God. Because the reality is that is what is most important for this upcoming new year. And I don't know about you guys, I really want it to be a good year. I want it to be a good year for me. I want it to be a good year for all of you guys. And in order to help us through whatever struggles we might go through this year, because whether we like it or not, we're going to go through difficult times this year. Let's ask for God's assistance. Let's come to God for help. And instead of trying to completely change who we are as a human being, let's change some of our actions. Let's work on self-improvement so that we can get closer to God and assist others in doing the same through evangelization, right? Through spreading the good news to others. Because that is ultimately so important to building our faith, to building our foundation of our faith, and to having a good year for ourselves and for others. So just remember, with the new year arriving, we're thinking about our new year resolution, whatever it might be. We're thinking about our new year, new me idea. And understanding that, yeah, let's be better this year. Let's make self-improvements. But let's not completely change who we are as a human being, because you can't do that. There's a difference between changing stuff about us, changing maybe even a lot about us, right? And changing who we are. And society doesn't like to see a difference there. Society likes to see that as the same thing, when in reality it's not the same thing. Things about you do not define you. Things about you, things that you might like, things that you might enjoy doing, that's not your identity, right? Things that you like are not your identity. They are not who you are. Who we are is children of God, made in His image and likeness. That is who we are. It's not like we just going around choosing whatever we want, right? And so we have to remember that with this new year. So now that the topic's done, y'all know what it's time for now. It's time for
the Saint of the Week.
And today's Saint of the Week is Saint Elizabeth Ann Seton. Now, Saint Elizabeth Ann Seton, first off, her feast day is today, as of when this video is posted, so very important. But secondly, Saint Elizabeth Ann Seton is probably one of the most American saints, right? She was the first American citizen who was to be beatified and canonized, which is really cool. She was born in America just 2 years before the Declaration of Independence was written and went through and everything. So obviously she, was born right in the midst of the American Revolution. On top of that, she initially was not Catholic growing up. She was Episcopalian, just like all of her family was. She ended up marrying a pretty wealthy businessman, had kids with him, and then he unfortunately died when St. Elizabeth was just 30 years old. So she was left with 5 children, penniless, poor. She had to support all of them. She was widowed. It was a very terrible experience for her. And one time in Rome, she found Catholicism through other people, seeing how kind they were, seeing how loving they were, seeing how passionate about their faith they were. And it ended up helping to convert her. So, along with a belief in the real presence, also helped to convert St. Elizabeth Ann Seton into Catholicism. When she came back to America, she ended up founding a school in Baltimore to help support her family, which succeeded very well. She was absolutely dedicated to her faith, always willing to say yes to God. Despite whatever tough moments she might have been going through, she nevertheless continued to dedicate herself, her life, her faith to Jesus Christ, which is absolutely incredible. And I feel like going into this new year, having her example of someone who who is willing to stay with God and willing to come to God for help in tough times rather than leave him or sort of abandon him or be mad at him in tough times, is an example that we should all follow very much, and that we should all look through for help. So thank you all so much for watching, and St. Elizabeth Ann Seton, pray for us. Now, before you click off this video, guys, I am not just a YouTuber, I'm also a Catholic speaker. I've gone across the country giving talks. If you want me to come and speak to your church, school, youth group, men's group, parish, whatever it might be, please go to my website, kidcatholic.com, click the contact me page and email me, and we can work out details from there, or email me directly at kidcatholic1@gmail.com, and I can reply and we can work out details from there. If you sort of want to see how I am, how I do as a speaker, please go to my website, kidcatholic.com, click the speaking engagements tab, and some details about some talks that I've given will be up there as well. Please check out 3 of my social medias, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. The link to all 3 of those will be in the description down below. Please comment any saint or topic suggestions that you might have for future videos. Please visit my website in general, kidcatholic.com, right? There's so many awesome things you can do on there. There's a whole Kid Catholic shop up there. You can read some details about me. There's a photo gallery up there. So many awesome things you can do on kidcatholic.com. So please go visit that website. Once again, as I said in the beginning of the video, please click the red subscribe button down below and the bell next to it. That way you get notified when I come out with a new video. It really does help this ministry to grow. And please like the video. Thank you all so much for watching. This was Keaton of Kid Catholic. I will see you all next week. And hi, Brielle.